Sure been a while, hasn't it? But I'm back. I'm definitely back. I'd tell you all about why I disappeared for almost a year, but hey, I don't think anyone really cares. So let's just get into it, yeah? Blah blah blah, Cyberpunk, damage, you read the title. I start my life the same way all women do. Looking in the mirror. Ew, I hate mirrors. I drive away from the cursed reflection device and immediately fail to run by crashing my car, taking damage, and for some reason not dying. Well, guess that's it for this one. See you next time. No, well, actually, I'm just gonna assume that a rational person is really gonna care that I took 10 damage during the tutorial and not fully restart the game, okay? Like, cut me a break. I meet Jackie out on his little ranch he set up in my absence. We load a funny box of stolen reptiles into my car, then drive to the border to smuggle it into Night City. Like the upstanding patriot I am, I let the government know that we plan to commit a crime. Unfortunately, they get pretty upset and start shooting at us. I die once, and you know what? I'm not playing Nomad this time. I fully restart the game. Now I'm a street kid. So I start my life the same way all women do. In the ugliest outfit I've ever seen. Holy hell, I would not wear that. In order to pay off my friend Pepe's debts, I agreed to steal a really expensive car for this sleazebag Kirk. A local mob boss gives me a ride to the garage the car is waiting for me at, and I just waltz right in. I find and hack the car, then prepare to drive off. This is really cool, you know. Do you have any idea how many of these things are even in Night City? Like 4. Well, you know, not like 4, exactly 4. What the fuck? Ah, hell. Well, through some miracle, the cops just dump us on the side of the road rather than at the bottom of the world's most polluted ocean. So after nearly killing me, Jackie invites me to his mom's for some dinner. It's pretty good, so I stuck around. Now we're best friends. And partners in crime. Emphasis on the crime. The crime on the menu today is just to kill a few scavengers and rescue a woman they kidnapped. Obviously, when you die in a single hit, the name of the game is to take things low, slow, and quiet. Oh. Or, well, no, the name of the game is Cyberpunk 27. Never mind, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we hand that woman over to Trauma Team, meaning our first combat encounter goes off without any hitches whatsoever. Well, that's only a half-truth, because on our drive out, a crew of scavs pull up on us and start shooting. And this time, I'm locked in place and can't do very much about the bullets flying my way. Other than, well, you know, die and cry a little more and die about 10 more times until finally, by some stroke of fortune, I managed to be just fast enough at killing the 2 guys in the back before they can kill me. The other 2 idiots are child's play, or at least I'd have to assume. I'm not a child, you know. But boy and or girl and or other, that really knocked the wind out of my sails. So Jackie drops me off at home and I hit the hay, muttering things like ZZZ or maybe even honk shoe, honk shoe. In the morning, Jackie and I meet over some breakfast to talk about a job he lined up. But hey, whoa now, first I've got to get my eyes swapped out. I go meet with the guy funding the job, Dex. Dex tells me that we're going to be robbing a biochip from none other than Arasaka. But hey, whoa now, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. 2 things we've got to handle first. And by we, I mean me. And you. You know, audience inclusion. Not that I have an audience, but... Right. Anyway, first up, we've got to steal this military robot from Maelstrom, which Dex's Google Slides presentation claims has 30 to 40 members. Which is observably and categorically not true. Jackie and I, and, you know, you, all meet up over in Maelstrom's turf to go see about getting our little fingers all over that robot. I walk right up to the front door and pound on it, all like, "Let me in! Let me in!" And they're like, "Jesus, fine, just stop yelling." Jackie and I go to try to talk to their boss, Royce. Only instead we're meeting with one of his can I still say that? One of his lackeys, Dum Dum. Dum Dum shows us the bot and I say, yeah, I'll take it. But when he asks for payment, I'm kind of like, yeah, see man, that's the funny part. So Royce comes in and pulls a gun on me, but then I pull a gun on him. Bang! Royce goes down and his lackey squad follows right after. Jackie and I push through their headquarters, fighting through the rest of Royce's little cyborg army. Along the way, we save Brick, the old boss, from his cell. That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. I die 2 more times in our escape, but really that's my own fault. This fight is easy, since you're supposed to be like a level 0 when you do it. Now that we've got the bot, I go talk to that Evelyn lady I mentioned 18 sentences in an onomatopoeia ago. I have a meet and or greet with Evelyn, and she, I, you, her tech expert, Judy, and T-Bug all review some footage from the Arasaka penthouse we're robbing.
You look like a cut of fuckable meat, are you?
That was the most important part, let's move on. I meet with the crew at the afterlife before the big day. Well, on the big day, rather. Same as the old day. We go over the plan for the day, which is... we drive to Konpeki Plaza. We use the flathead to disable security. We sneak into the penthouse with no problems. We grab the biochip from the safe. We escape before anything bad happens or anyone knows what happened. Uh-oh. Turned out something bad happened. Yorinobu takes the elevator up while Jackie and I are still in his room. Then he strangles his father, Emperor of the Galaxy or whatever. Also, T-Bug gets her brain fried, Jackie gets shot up, and everyone knows exactly what's happening. Not to mention the biochip is failing, meaning Jackie has to shove it into his cranium. And if that weren't bad enough, the building is swarming with Sokka security, which Jackie and I need to sneak past. Well, unfortunately, I'm bad and dumb and gay, which means I get caught. I'm sure you can tell how that turned out for us. But hey, whoa, don't worry, that's not canon. There's only one video where I canonically die and it hasn't come out yet. We do eventually manage to get past most of the guys, but one of them calls down their Titan, which means, well, quite frankly, we are boned. So I have three options here. A. Methodically use reboot optics and shooting, the old American pastime, to take it down. B. Use Jackie as a distraction while I open fire on it. Or C. Try to do something real stupid by running right past it. Well, the only real option here is C. I simply don't have enough ammo to take this thing down. Believe me, I tried. So, reboot optics and running to the elevator is my best bet of walking out with any holes in me. Or, you know, any holes that weren't there to begin with. Downstairs, I slide my way back into the taxi and nearly get rammed off the road by Atom Smasher.
Fuckable meat.
But hey, we made it! We're not dead. Oh, and speaking of things which are dead, Jackie puts the biochip in my head, then bleeds out and dies on her way back to see Dex. Oh, also speaking of things that are dead, Dex stabs me in the back and I die. Or miraculously, he shoots me in the face, and I die.
Hey.
I can't. Hey, we're chill.
Bet you thought you were never gonna see me again. But tonight, I'm here to say goodbye to all of you. Me, Rogue, Shayton, Murph, and nobody else with a name worth mentioning. Tonight, Sokka Tower, whole thing comes crumbling down. I also come crumbling when the helicopter hits me on the head. But I'm fine. Rogue and I fight our way down the stairs to plant the Demolitron 2 in the elevator. But I've still gotta get into their subnet. Got other business here. Doesn't matter how many Sokka fucks they send my way, I'm not leaving without it. Never any chance they'd stop me, aside from all those times that they did. Job's done. Time to get out of here.
Smasher. Told you, Johnny boy. Told you I'd end you someday.
Ow, the front of my head. Wait, sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, right, Dex. That snake! He shot me in the head! But like a delivery service you can count on, I dig myself out from under a pile of trash and watch as Saburo Arasaka's bodyguard murders Dex. Man, I wanted to be the one to do that. Would've been awesome. I already had this whole plan going where I'd steal his gun and shoot him with it. I mean, talk about getting owned, am I right? Am I right? Oh, no, never mind. I'm not right, just unconscious. When I wake up this time, Goro, that's the bodyguard, is driving me around town asking me for my help killing his boss's assassins. I try my best, but boy do they continuously get the better of me. See, the problem is that I'm trapped in a car, unable to take cover while they're shooting at me. I'm at the mercy of the random chance that they might not hit me. This wouldn't be nearly as much of a problem if it didn't take a full minute to go between death animation to loading screen to checkpoint, then to when I'm finally able to start shooting again. Sometimes I got pretty close to the end. Sometimes I caught a bullet the second combat started. One time I even managed to get to the end only to die anyway. It really all just depended on CyberGod's plan. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you are a sane person who cares about your mental well-being, just don't do this. Just don't ever do this. You're not gonna get any fulfillment out of it. Unfortunately for me, I'm not that. I'm gonna be honest with you though, if someone out there takes on this challenge and manages to do this in like their first attempt, I might actually kill myself. When I finally managed to kill that second asshole after 36 minutes worth of attempts, I got so excited that I had to do a victory lap around my bedroom. The last assassin, I'm pretty sure is just a fake enemy who can't damage you, so that's it. I did it! I got past what I believe is the biggest hurdle in the entire challenge. It's smooth sailing from here. Goro and also Delamain get me to Vic's clinic, where I sum it up for him. It was a strange set of circumstances. I fell down a tower, I got a chip in my head, and now I've got a terrorist controlling me. Trust me, I've got a lot of experiences with things being in my head. Primarily bullets, sometimes voices. All I've got to do is sleep it off and I'll be fine. In the morning, with the weight of Jackie's death and my new terminal silver handitis on my mind, I cope using methods once utilized by my younger self. Cutting my hair in the bathroom mirror. After my impromptu haircut, I go meet Goro and talk about our problems with Arasaka. He wants my help convincing the Emperor's daughter, Hanako, that he was offed by his son, Yorinobu. But I think that talking to Evelyn about this whole chip problem is a better idea. And Johnny thinks that talking to Rogue about tracking down the chip's programmer is a better idea. Since I'm a strong, independent mercenary who doesn't need no man, I go with my plan to track down Ev. Since she doesn't answer my 27 calls, oh god, this is just like every woman I've ever talked to, I called Judy instead. Remember her? Despite her telling me to leave her the hell alone, I go to see her at work, which, don't think about that too much, okay? She tells me I can find her at Clouds, and since you probably have the ability to put 2 and 2 together, I'm sure you can probably guess where I went next. I ask around about Evelyn, but it turns out that she's completely fallen off the radar after being attacked by a client. So I go talk to her boss, this guy named Woodman. You know, big guy, beard, flannel. Yeah, he says that he sold her to some kid named Fingers, a quack doctor over on Jig Jig Street. Then he kicks me out so he can finish his Big Mac. I call up Judy and have her meet me over at the quack clinic. Duck Fingers calls Judy an animal, so I punch him in the face a few times, and he tells me that he also sold Evelyn, except to some snuff film crew. I buy one of their films from a shady guy under a bridge. That way Judy and I can figure out where they filmed it, which is some factory. Since you've been a good little viewer and made 4 the last time, I won't bother telling you my next stop. I'm honestly way more careless than I should be in here, and I pay the price for that carelessness multiple times, but hey, I don't learn lessons that easily. Never was a good student, at least if you ask all the worst teachers I've ever had. Either way, Judy and I kill all the nasty scavs who torture people for fun and money, then rescue Evelyn from their clutches and take her home. I'm not great at social cues, but something tells me that now is not the best time to be asking Ev about her clients. So instead, Judy and I use the power of cyber magic to determine that it's the Voodoo Boys over in Pacifica. In order to get into contact with the Voodoo Boys, I call Mr. Hands. No, not that one. Yes, I've seen the clip. Shut up. Hands, who is a surprise tool that'll be more relevant later, sets me up for a job with them. That way I have access to their boss, Brigitte. I meet with their second-in-command, who scans my cyber brain and then tells me to go to the shopping mall and hack into a van and kill some animals. Some of my favorite games involve shopping malls and killing animals, so this should be a breeze. To get in, I slide around all sneaky-like right past all the guards. Even inside, I take it quiet as a mouse, taking down any animals in my path. After I hack the car, a netrunner from Netwatch tries to hack me. Placide keeps him off my cyberback for now, but I need to go deal with him, lest I end up with my brain fried. The fight with the animal's boss, Sasquatch, really isn't that much of a challenge. It takes 2 attempts, though the first only failed because I crashed. All I have to do is dash away from her every so often and keep filling her with bullets until she, like all things, finally croaks. As for the Netwatch guy, he and I, well, we come to another little agreement once I realize that Placide sent me up to die after his little scan earlier. I return to him and he's pretty mad, but Brigitte tells me to put me... What? But Brigitte tells him to put me down and get lost. She and I talk about my silver handitis, which she agrees to help me with in return for my brain and the chip to talk to the alt cunning man. What? To do that, they send me back into the memories of Johnny, which according to Brigitte should only take... Poor sad Carrie, can't see my vision. Unless he's got a better one, he can go fuck himself. Besides, Alt's waiting for me in the green room. Absolutely nothing happens with Alt in the green room. She still storms off all bitchy and mad per usual. She's always gotta ruin things, doesn't she? I go after her, trying to get her to stop, fix things, walk her home, all that. 'Cause some goons jump us and kill me. Fortunately I live, but in my time of dying they nab her, put some mantis blades through my back and toss her into a van. Meow. Some media Thompson scrapes me off the pavement and takes me to a ripper. But I've got some important business to deal with, like getting Alt back. Head to the Atlantis, pick up a few friends, Rogue and this nomad Santiago. If you needed any proof that this was all Sokka's doing, they storm us on the way out. They weren't any trouble at all, except for the 8 or so times that they killed me. And the one where Thompson ran me over. Sokka makes chase and kills me before I'm even allowed to pull out my gun. Now that's just great, isn't it? Happens many, many more times. I gave it an honest attempt, I really did, but I just don't think it's possible. Spent about 40 minutes making absolutely no progress whatsoever, just dying over and over. I don't even get the luxury of pretending it's possible, just alive 1 second, dead the next. Nothing I can do about it except bitch. I'm pretty content in saying no, absolutely not. It's not possible unless you're the luckiest bastard I'll never meet. Anyway, now that we're all one big happy family, the 4 of us storm into Sokka Tower, shoot all the Sokka bastards between us and Alt. She's dead when we get to her. Fuck. A moment. Huh, that's weird. For some reason I feel like all of a sudden I've failed to run. Well, I'm sure it's nothing, I'll just keep going. Brigitte has me cross the big cyberspace firewall to go talk to Alt. Fortunately, the Voodoo Boys all die after I cross the black wall, thanks to me cutting a deal with the Netwatch guy earlier. But that's fine, I don't really give a rat's whiskers about those guys. Instead of whatever they wanted, I ask Alt about getting Johnny out of my head. She says that the only way I'd be able to do that is by entering Mikoshi through an access port under Arasaka Tower. Sounds doable. I exit cyberspace and find Brigitte's real space corpse alongside most of her friends. As for the ones who aren't corpses, I turn them into them pretty quick. They've got the home turf advantage and the kill me in one hit advantage in case you forgot what video you were watching, but taking it slow and methodical through their corridors works fine. At least until Placide teleports while I'm creeping up on him, killing me before I can even say something like, "That's BS," or "What? That's not fair." Next attempt though, he agrees to abide by the laws of physics, so we take shots at each other from across the church until I take him down with a well-placed grenade, and a gun bash to finish him off. Remember that Hellman guy? No relation. I assume. Right, so I'd follow Johnny's advice and go hit up Rogue in the afterlife, and pay her a few big ones to track him down. She does so within seconds, also known as after I sleep on the bar for a whole day. He's in this AV up in the air tonight, so I call one of Rogue's contacts, Pan Am, about taking that sucker down. I meet her out of town a ways to discuss our deal. In return for hitting the convoy, she wants me to get her car and some goods she was selling. Sounds goods to me. So we drive more out of town a ways to pick up some gear from our friends in the Aldecaldos. We ambushed the crew who stole her car. I briefly turned this town into the... Why did I say that? I briefly turned this town into the Dubrovka Theater and then pick off the ones who survived. Is it okay for me to joke about that? Is it still too early for that one? I don't know. Whatever. Turns out though, the guy who stole the car isn't there. Panem is really insistent on going after him. You know what they say about revenge? It's a dish best served eaten. And oh boy, could I go for an incredible luncheon right about now. That's fucking stupid. The previously mentioned guy is hiding out in a cave, like from the hit game Minecraft 2009. Chicken Jock, God, I hate myself. For some reason, this combat is the most trouble I've had in any so far. Excluding that one time because that canonically happened to Johnny, not me. Maybe it's because I'm washed. Maybe it's because half the pieces of cover are either too short or have hitboxes bigger than their model. Maybe it's because it's dark and I can't see when enemies are aiming at me. Maybe it's because the enemies are either shotgun noobs or smart gun noobs, both of whom are the bane, ball, and merkle of my existence. Suck my dog. I just don't. That's gross. I don't even know you. Anyway, like always, I do eventually manage to brute force it after enough attempts. And after Panem finally gives up on the fight, but, you know, no matter. We go sell her cargo to her contact, then start plotting to take down Hellman's AV. Just like that one mission in Call of Duty Registered Trademark Modern Warfare Copyright 2 2009, we use an M. Unlike in Call of Duty Registered Trademark Modern Warfare Copyright 2 2009, that doesn't work, so instead Panem uses a rocket launcher. Just like that one mission in Call, while driving after the crash with drones chasing after us, I learned that Panem's mounted gun also dies in one shot. I honestly didn't even know that it could take damage. This is news to me, but not the news I hope for every time I wake up. It's not that big of a deal, they can barely shoot straight. Except for when they hit Panem, meaning that she could also not beat Cyberpunk 2077 without taking any damage. In the 20 seconds it takes us to get to the crash site after the AV goes down, the Kang Tao guys managed to wipe out a bunch of Aldecaldos who went after it, including Scorpion, who I don't think I mentioned by name earlier, but whatever. When I head down to the AV to find Hellman, we also discover that Mitch, who I similarly did not mention, is alive. Oh, and Hellman isn't here, they took him away. I track him down to a gas station where Kang Tao have set up a little temporary fortress to call for reinforcements. I snap a few necks to get inside, then find him upstairs. He goes peacefully to sleep when I bash him across the head with my pistol. I take Hellman to the Sunset Motel where I ask him a few questions about the chip. Hellman is both shocked and terrified to learn what's happening inside my head, which is exactly what happened to me in real life back in 2015. You know, we're closer to 2040 than we are to 2015. Isn't that scary? It's not actually true, but did that make you jump? I leave Hellman with Takamura so they can talk about something or other. I don't know what. Not long after I leave, Judy calls me up and tells me to head over right away. When I get there, I walk in on Evelyn dead in the bathroom. So Judy also tells me that Woodman, remember him? Big guy, beard, flannel? Yeah, he did some bad stuff to Evelyn that I also don't want to say directly because I feel uncomfortable doing that. But let's just say that it's enough to make Judy and I both want him really dead. Sometime soon, also known as 2 in-game weeks later, Judy calls me telling me about a grand plan. Kick the tiger claws out of clouds and take over. Also kill Woodman. To do so, we go talk to her ex-girlfriend Maiko, who's like a manager or something at Clouds. Maiko gives us the cold shoulder, but does tell us where to find Woodman so we can turn him into a deadman. You know, dead guy, corpse, cadaver. We head down there and he's all like, "What are you gonna do, shoot me?" And then I do. He survives my shot, but then dies from natural causes not long after. Judy, myself, Maiko, Tom, and Roxanne all meet at Judy's place to talk about this whole Clouds plan, which is to use Tom and Roxanne as super soldiers to kill all the tiger claws. And I'm like, psh, I'm the only super soldier you need, Judy. But then Tom kicks my ass, so yeah, you know, they're alright, I guess. I swear this never happens to me, though. The 4 of us minus Maiko storm Clouds the next day. After all, they can't stop all of us. More accurately, I storm the boss's main penthouse, quiet as a church mouse, where Maiko tries to change up the plan last second to take full control of clouds. The three bosses say, "Nuh-uh, no way," and I say, "Nuh-uh, no way," and then they attack us and I show them the power of my turn everyone into a dead guy-inator. Maiko is really mad at me at first, but we make up after a calm and collected conversation about our feelings. Also, Judy kisses me on the cheek, which could mean nothing. She also asks me to meet her out in a private lakeshore cabin, which could mean nothing. When I get there, she tells me that she wants to go diving, which... I mean, I've probably said it before, but oh my god, I hate the water. It's really scary and I don't like being anywhere near it, much less way down in it. Even in games, I don't know, it just freaks me out. But hey, whoa, hey, it's okay, everything's okay. Except for when I drown and Judy has to resuscitate me. But hey, whoa, hey, it's okay, because she takes me inside and makes me some hot coffee. That's it. That's all that happened. Nothing else happened in Judy's private lakeshore cabin. In the morning, she does ask me to move in with her, though, which could mean, you guessed it, nothing. Around that same time, except actually like 2 in-game weeks ago, Panam called me and asked me to meet her over at the Aldecaldo's camp. When I get there, she explains that Saul was kidnapped by the evil wraiths and wants my help getting him back, since I'm the protagonist. I say, okay, friend, and we head out to go pick him up. Unlike normal, I actually commit to stealth here rather than saying, fuck it, we ball. But there's a damn good reason for that. If you break stealth during this mission at all, it ends in an on-rails chase sequence with some wraiths. But if you manage to sneak in and out without getting detected, this sequence is skipped. I'm sure you can probably guess why I might want to avoid any more on-rails segments in this playthrough. Not that I have a reason to avoid them, because that happened to Johnny. So, with some help from me old Cloak and Sandy, I zip and zop right out of there with Saul right behind me. Panam drives us off to spend the night in a tiny cabin, thanks to a sandstorm that I didn't mention until it was relevant. In the morning, she asks me to move in with her. No, I'm kidding. She gives me Scorpion's rifle and motorcycle, which, believe it or not, is the only vehicle I own right now. The very next day, Panam calls me again for a totally different reason. She and Mitch want my help hitting a Militech convoy to steal a Basilisk, which is this weird tank thing, and also happens to be a surprise tool that'll help us later. So the 3 of us and 4 other Aldecaldos I don't need to name all stop the convoy with a damn train, kill the guards, and take the 2 trucks with the parts. We drop them off with the Aldecaldos, witness a screaming match between Panam and Saul. I go and stand in the desert for a few days until it's ready to rock and hover. Panam and I take the Basilisk for a spin, and coincidentally, the Wraiths decide that now is the best time to attack the Aldecaldos. At first, I'm really scared that they might kill the Basilisk, Panam, and I, and all in one shot. I'm leaving that in. No, I'm not. But I go the entire fight without them shooting in our direction once, so I never find out. Panam and Saul talk about something important, like making her second in command of the tribe now, but I'm way too busy looting corpses to hear even a word of it. Oh, but also I pass out due to a conveniently timed relic malfunction, and when I wake up I tell Panam all about my chronic silver handitis. Then she and Saul are all like, if there's anything we can do to help you, we'll be there. Approximately 1 month ago, Takamura asked me to meet him at the waterfront as soon as possible. Like the good girl I am, I ignored him and instead did everything else first. Including stuff I did not need to do, like Judy. I mean Judy's questline. Nothing happened in Judy's private lakeshore cabin. Anyway, Goro and I meet with Oda, the bodyguard of Hanako Arasaka. That's a surprise tool that'll be a detriment to us later. Oda totally blows us off, but Goro and I instead plan to talk to Hanako ourselves at the parade honoring Saburo. Yeah, so we get some info about the parade schedule from Wakako, hack the parade security, and break into where the floats are being held. Under the cover of a sandstorm, I whiz right past the guards, through the building, into a terminal to hack the floats to give Goro and I control. Then I just jump out through the roof and leave, all in the span of about a minute, like it were no big thing. At the parade itself, there's only a few things for me to take care of before Goro can jump onto Hanako's float and talk to her. 3 snipers, a netrunner, and some assorted cannon fodder. The snipers and aforementioned fodder go down no problem. As for the Netrunner, well, remember Oda? This is him now. Feel old yet? Yeah, I take him down in all of about 15 seconds. It's so fast that I decide to up my game from easy to hard and do the fight again. See, now that's more like it, huh? This time he actually manages to get a few attacks and other tactics in before going down. He's still kind of a pushover, but hey, now it takes a strong shove instead of a light tap. Well, kinda. Because of the way that I dodged one of his attacks, he actually got stuck in an invisible wall or something, so I finish him off without even the slightest risk. With Oda and the Netrunner gone, Goro is able to jump onto Hanako's float and talk to her. Or in other words, shoot her with the tranquilizer dart and kidnap her. Remember the projectile launch tranquilizer? That thing was really buggy, but I really miss it. Anyway, now that I've been made an accessory to kidnapping, Goro and I meet at a nondescript motel. I tell Hanako about my silverhanditis and watching Yorinobu strangle her old man. And I mean old man. That dude was like 150. She doesn't really seem to care about what I have to say, but that doesn't matter because Arasaka seems to have picked up my stench since they track us down and start tearing the place apart. Johnny tells me to GTFO 2021 by 10 chambers, but I head back in order to rescue Goro from the firing squad that can't seem to hit him. The 3 more guys between us and the exit really give me a run for my eddies by killing me 10 times, but eventually we both get out alive. Later on, Hanako actually does send a courier to tell me that she wants to meet at this rich folk club Embers. I'll definitely get around to that someday, but that day is not today. Partially because as soon as I walk out, my silverhanditis kicks in and knocks me out flat. In my absence, Johnny gets me to a hotel in Pacifica, where he gives me a present of his dog tags. Not the digital ones he's wearing, but the real ones that he wore when he was a real space man. Both of us agree to take bullets for each other if need be, metaphorically at least. In a literal sense, he agrees to get wiped if it comes to it, and I agree to let him have my life if it comes to it. But Johnny does ask for one little favor. He wants to take temporary control over my body, tell Rogue everything, and get her to help us solve our little problem, and also kill Smasher. I say yes. Stupid. So stupid and naive. I take us both over there, then down a pill to let Johnny take control. About fucking time. It's good to be back. I wish I could say I went right to Rogue, but I had to give her something real, man. I won't tell you how it happened, but I got the info I was after. Smasher, Ebenike, and told Rogue all about it. It was a long night, but you'll only get it when you're older. See you another time. God, never again. I wake up after Johnny's big day throwing up from whatever substances he put in my body. Rogue is there though, so he didn't completely lie, just mostly. Rogue says she'll follow up on the lead that Johnny got from, what was her name, Ruby? Then I scold Johnny for being a lying tool. Rogue follows through on tracking down Smasher. Well, kinda. We'll get to that in a sec. First, she gifts me a replica of Johnny's iconic jacket that he wore in one piece of cover art. Right, but back to Smasher. Rogue actually tracked down Grayson, some guy working for him, on a boat called the Ebenike. Maelstrom has firmly claimed that part of town, but Sandy plus Cloak is a hell of a drug, so we slip right past them like we weren't even there. Grayson's entourage, like most things, dies in only a few taps from Widowmaker. Grayson himself survives due to plot armor. Rogue and I ask very nicely about Smasher, but Grayson claims that we won't ever see him again. You know what? Something tells me that's definitely true. Either way, he also tells me where I can find Johnny's corpse. Then to save his own life, he offers me the keys to Johnny's car. But I have my cake and eat it too after I take the keys and shoot him in the head anyway. Johnny and I head out to the oil fields hoping to find, I don't know, anything really. But we don't. Still, we talk a bit. I tell him flat out that he used me and lied to me, ran off in my body like it was some party after promising he'd just talk to Rogue. He asks me for one more chance, one more, to prove that he's changed. And I say, fine, but as far as second chances go, this is its last. I'm not just gonna keep letting him use me. Oh, but he does ask me to just use me like a little tiny bit to go on a date with Rogue. I don't know, that's fine, as long as he behaves himself. Which he does, mostly because she leaves. But it does mean he wants to go check on his old pal Carrie now, and since he was such a good little engram, I say fuck it, fine, whatever. So Johnny and Carrie spend a few hours chatting about the cyber hell Johnny's been in all these years. Right before the magic pills that turn me into Johnny wear off, two of them talk about getting the band back together. You know, Samurai, one night only. It's the final request Johnny asks for, so when I wake up, I say sure, I'll make it happen. First thing we have to do to make that happen is go find Nancy at the Totentanz, I think that's what it's called, which is also run by Maelstrom. Maelstrom and I are basically old pals by now. You know, I kill some of their guys, I kill more of their guys, I kill another one of their guys. Real give and take relationship we've got. Yeah, well, this time I don't have to kill any of their guys. Remember Brick from approximately 5,800 words ago? Yeah, he actually thanks me for saving his life and lets Nancy and I walk out without any trouble. After that we collect Denny, but not Henry, and meet up at a little dive bar with another guy as a replacement. I pop a pill and Johnny rocks out with the crew for a while. It was a sick show from what I hear. Carrie totally flags me after the concert though. Like I said, this is Johnny's final request. So now we should deal with my problem by going to have a little chat with Hanako. Yeah, Hanako's deal isn't exactly up to par with Johnny and I's standards. Nope, no way, lady. Not happening. So I take the first excuse to get out of there, and then I pass out, and in my absence, Johnny takes us both to Vic's place. Seems like my silver handitis has finally reached its last stage. If I don't take care of it right now, we're both doomed. Really convenient that I've already wrapped up everything I care to do in this playthrough, right? Misty, who I seemingly have never mentioned in the script at all, takes me up to the roof to mull it over a bit. I call Judy first, you know, to say bye, just in case. Not that anything happened in her private lake or cabin or anything. Back to deliberating, I mean, it's kind of tough to decide which of my friends get to die, you know? Thing is, it's gotta be somebody. I know I set up Don't Fear the Reaper earlier in the oil fields, but I never actually planned on doing it. Yeah, I kinda assumed I wouldn't be able to because, well, you take damage periodically. I just figured I would be toast. But after finishing, I went back and tested, and no, it's perfectly doable. Whatever. Too late now. I pop the blue pill and call up Pan Am. Aldecaldo said they'd have my back, so let's have at it. At the Aldecaldo's camp, I go over it all. We've got to break into Arasaka Tower and get me to the access point under it. Some of the Aldecaldos may die, but that is a sacrifice that they are willing to make. All for me, of all people. Instead of charging through the front door like a bunch of idiots, we actually storm a Militech construction site through the front door for a big giant drill to dig a tunnel to Saka Tower instead. When we get there, the Basilisk is fried by an EMP, and I step out with a sniper rifle to duck hunt some drones. This was briefly really scary, but I don't think the drones can actually shoot at me. Bobby tragically dies after being killed by a drone. Oh, 9/11. Pan Am and I clear the ground troops outside the construction site, but the Basilisk is totally fucked, so we ditch it once we get in. I click some heads for a while Carol and Mitch try to hack into the big drill to get it drilling, and Pan Am attempts to fix the tank. Teddy tragically dies after being killed by a bunch of bombs, but sooner or later Pan Am fixes the tank, so the two of us bomb Militech right back. By that point, Carol and Mitch have got the motherlode online, so she starts drilling right toward the vault. Pan Am and I follow in her path, then she, Saul, and I all hop onto the drill to ride it right into the tower. For a hot minute, the three of us sneak around, at least until we plug all into the mainframe or whatever, and she fries the brains of everyone in the building, including an off-screen Hanako. Or, well, I'd say everyone, but there's one particular cut of fuckable meat who runs up on us. Adam Smasher, who happens to do exactly what the name implies by smashing Saul's head. I'll be honest with you, this was my first time fighting 2.0 Smasher. This guy's pretty terrifying. Blinking around through walls, dashing right at me. I mean, hell, it's almost like he's an actual boss now. Feels like only yesterday I was killing him in 20 seconds flat. He ain't your fucking grandma's Smasher anymore, huh? Plus, now he has a Sandevistan too. I don't think I need to say this, but yeah, this was actually like legit hard, you know, given the circumstances and all. So I died, let's say like 10 times rounding up, though 2 of those were embarrassingly from fall damage. I mean, I could have turned the difficulty back down to be fair, but I didn't want to. I mean, nothing says I'm a pussy like turning down the difficulty during the final boss fight. Absolutely drenched in sweat with my heart rate at an absolute high, I managed to persevere. Even while Smasher fills the arena with missiles, even while he keeps dashing right at me to turn my head into pudding, I keep my cool. And I finally manage to bring him down. Then I walk up to him. I get to decide his fate. And you know what? Forget Mikoshi, forget Johnny. Let's let bygones be bygones, right? So he, Panam, and I go out and hit the town as newfound friends. Nah, I'm kidding, I shot that fucker in the face. I plugged myself into Mikoshi, but then... Well, once Johnny and I are in, we learn some bad news. See, Alt can't actually reverse the damage that Johnny did to my body. She can plug me back into it, sure, but that won't actually do much. I'll still only have a few months to live. I told Johnny before, promised I'd take a bullet for him if it came to it, but I'm sorry, dude, I can't do it. But he gets it, so he joins Alt in cyberspace hell, and I hop back into my body. Some indeterminate amount of time later, Panam and I look over the city from the dam. Or, well, she does, not me. Mikoshi didn't really work out, so she's got a new plan to save my life. This is a good one. But it involves us going far, far away from Night City. Good riddance, I say. Before we hop the border, we meet up with a very special someone. Judy. Okay, I'm finally gonna admit it. Something totally happened in Judy's private lakeshore cabin. See, when a girl and... well, you got the picture. So, with the future uncertain and my life still at stake, I cross the border of Night City, toss my necklace into the wind, and do not beat Cyberpunk 2077 without taking any damage. So that's it then. Sorry I took like an entire year off. Not that anyone's really... Oh. Hello?
V? Can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear, whoever you are.
Good. It worked. My name is Somi. Just call me Sombrita. I know who you are. Know your situation, your problem. And I can save your life.